Some of Sarasota School's best and brightest students are headed to the Big Apple. The Pineview math team is qualified for a national math competition, and Pineview teacher and coach Mark Mattia is here with 5 of the team members to explain their award-winning math modeling concept. Welcome. We are very proud of you all here. Now, please be gentle. It's been a long time since any of us have thought about math. So before we get into it, we want to meet each one of you. So start off by introducing yourselves.
I'm Zoe McDonald, and I'm a junior.
I'm Tristan Lee, and I'm a senior.
I'm Dylan Hall, I'm a senior.
I'm Sarah Mim, also a senior.
I'm Chloe Harris, I'm also a senior.
All right, so the 5 of you, this is a really big deal. So Mark, let's start off. Explain the importance of this competition.
This is a rather large competition in America. It's sponsored by the Society for Industrial Mathematics, and there were over 950 teams and about 4,500 participants, and we're down to the final 6 teams in the country.
Wow. So of all of those participants, and we're lucky to have a team right here on the Suncoast that's heading in, how did you have to compete? They made you take a real-world problem and try to solve it with a math. How did you, what did they ask of you?
So the problem for this year was about food waste in the nation, and if that food waste could be repurposed to feed the food insecure population of America.
Wow, so this is, for all of us that ever said, when are we ever going to use this in a math class, this is what math teachers everywhere have been waiting for. So how do you do that? How do you take a math equation and solve it? Let's see it in action.
Oh,
all right, so Dylan?
Okay.
So you're using a concept called math modeling?
Yeah, so Tristan, you want to give a brief explanation
Yeah,
of what
explain
is
what math modeling is.
So ultimately, the goal of mathematics modeling is to create equations that approximate real-world situations, and with those equations, you can find solutions to real-world problems. The more closely you can model a real-world situation, the more correct your solution can be. And so we attempted to apply this in the case of food waste and repurposing food waste.
So, not to simplify, but because so many of us have been out of math for a while, so we're really taking, if you have x in an equation, you're actually making it a real-world issue. So it's less, plus, minus, addition, subtraction. It's more applying. Everything stands for something in life.
Yes. Well, I guess a good way to think of it might be adding more x variables or more y variables.
Okay.
In essence, to add further variables to create a more realistic model and then solving it through that method.
All right. Well, let's see it in action. So,
All right.
go ahead and explain.
For finding out if we could repurpose, in the question's case, it was for Texas, their food waste into feeding their food insecure population, we changed food waste into the monetary value of the food wasted, which we have here as MW subscript total. And then you subtract the monetary value of the need for food in Texas, which is represented as MW subscript total again. And so it's almost a supply and demand. So our supply in Texas is the monetary value of food waste, subtracting your demand in Texas, which is the value of your food need.
So this might be something that even parents do on a smaller scale in a grocery store. If you think, I have this many eggs left, I have this many children to feed, this is just turning it into an equation.
Right.
So here we're trying to figure out one of the components we had was the potential that a food waste that is in Texas. So we had the money potential that Texas could have wasted, and then how much food was bought in Texas. So subtracting those two, you have your total of the monetary value wasted in Texas. And how we figured out the potential in Texas that they have is how much was purchased in Texas over, as Dylan showed, 1 minus the percent of waste in production.
Wow. So with the exception of a few terms that have gone over my head, you really are talking about the same things that we talk about when we talk about issues, social issues that are important to us. You're just turning it into something that could be solved in almost in another language in a strange way.
Yeah.
So did you have to submit this to the competition?
Well, that was just the first part of the 14-hour exercise. They went on to solve some other problems, and then they related it to how we might optimize this program in Sarasota County.
Wow. So all of you worked together to come up with this. We all know what it's like to be on a team and kind of problem solve, but how specifically do you problem solve when you're dealing with math?
Right. So when we started this team specifically, we didn't even know everybody, and we definitely weren't all friends. So working on a math problem, everybody has their own idea with it, and so it's a lot of give and take, but it really, the compromises that we made bettered the project as a whole. By the end, I think we're all pretty good friends now.
That's
Yeah, it's a lot of looking at different people's perspectives when it's a math problem.
And you said that you had to work together for 14 hours
Yes.
consecutively, right? They put you in a room for 14 hours and you had to solve this, and this is a portion of what you came up with. Real quick, tell us what's the next step. Where you're heading to New York, and what'll happen?
So an important part of math modeling is being able to communicate what your models are. So we made a presentation and a PowerPoint to present to a panel of judges in New York on Monday.
Well, we are all rooting for you. Everyone here on the Suncoast, even if we don't quite understand all of what you're doing, we know that it's very important and we are very, very proud. And we're rooting for you. To find out more about the great academic programs at Pineview and all Sarasota County schools, you can go to their homepage. All right, good luck, team. Coming up next, Linda fills us in on some big changes coming for the Circus Arts Conservatory.